Hi friends, my name is Aaliyah and welcome to my channel Aaliyah Uncharted. Today I'm really excited because I'm going to be going over all the books that I'm planning on reading for the 'Tis the Damn readathon. This is a Taylor Swift-themed readathon that takes place the entire month of March, and it is the most fun time. I participated in this last year and just had the best time. It was wonderful, and so I was so excited to see that they're actually doing it again this year. It's exactly what I needed. This year it's being hosted by Jan. I will have her announcement video down in the description for you to check out. All of the challenges are the same as last year. So the way that it's formatted is it's got 2 prompts for each of Taylor's 9 albums. So you can kind of pick and choose which one works for you. And so they also made this really cute kind of bingo board. I'm gonna put it up here. And it looks like the house from the Lover music video. So you can try to get a bingo if you want. You don't have to read all 9 prompts because that is a lot. Of course, because I can be a lot, I do have choices for each of the 9 albums, but we'll get into that. So yeah, check out Jan's video to see all of the possible prompts. But right now I'm going to be going over the challenges that I chose for each album and the books that are going to fulfill them. So without any further ado, let's just get into the list of books because y'all, this is gonna be a great reading month. Okay, so we're going to be going in order of Taylor's albums. Her first released album was her self-titled album, Taylor Swift, and the prompt for this is to read a memoir. If you've been on my channel at all, you've probably heard me say several times that memoirs are not really my thing. I just tend to feel kind of so-so about them, but when they're part of a Taylor Swift readathon, I must oblige. And it just so happens that I already had one on my radar anyway, and that is More Myself by Alicia Keys. This was the recommendation from my friend Caitlin for my 12 Recs from 12 Friends challenge. I will link my goals video down in the description if you want to learn more about that one. But this was her choice for me. She really enjoyed it, especially the audiobook, and so this is the perfect time to try it out. We love a good audiobook, and I don't think I've actually read like a celebrity memoir before. Yeah, that is my plan for this one. Taylor's second album was Fearless, and the prompt for this one is to read a YA book. And for this one, I chose The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by SOOOO. This is a book I just talked about in my 5-star predictions video. I am so excited about it. It is a retelling of the Korean folktale, The Tale of Shimchong, which is about a girl who goes to the spirit world as the bride of the sea god to try to save her homeland from devastating storms. And so she has to figure out a way to save her homeland and figure out her way through the world of gods and monsters, essentially. And I am so excited about this. I went a little bit more into detail in my 5-star predictions video, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. But this is supposed to be great for fans of Spirited Away, which I am. And I read a manhwa that was based on the same folktale way back when I was younger, and so the story is already right up my alley, and I am so excited. This is one of my most anticipated releases of 2022. It just came out February 22nd, so it is very new still, and I cannot wait. Like, I'm waiting for it to turn March already, and then I'm going to get started on it right away. So I'm stoked about this one. Taylor's third album was Speak Now, and the prompt for this is to read a book in a trilogy or the 3rd book in a series. And the book I chose for this is The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. This is the first book in the Broken Earth trilogy, and it is incredibly well loved, incredibly renowned, and intimidating as heck. I've been told to read this by several people, and this is actually another friend recommendation for my 12 Recs challenge. This was given to me by my friend Amber, so I definitely want to get around to it, but it is very intimidating because I know it's larger than a lot of other books I read, and I know that it's just a very complex and complicated plot and narrative structure. You need to activate your brain a little bit more to read this, is what I've heard. So it is going to take a lot to get into, but I've heard it's amazing. I mean, every book in this series has won a Hugo Award, which is unheard of. So it has to be incredible. So I'm really hoping that putting it into this readathon will give me the push I need to get started on this, because I'm sure I'm really going to love it. It's just gonna take a little bit of a nudge for me to get started. So that is my plan for this one. Taylor's fourth album was Red, and so the prompt is to read a book with red on the cover. And for this one, I'm going to be reading Light from Uncommon Stars by Raika Aoki. Is the red just the little bit of the fish's head? Yes, but I don't care. I needed to fit this book on my TBR, and this was the only place I could do it, so here it is. This was also in my 5-star predictions. I am so excited, and I've been dying to read this book ever since it came out last year, so this was the perfect opportunity. This is a sci-fi novel that takes place in California. It has been pitched as Good Omens meets The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which are both books that I have loved. And so it's just like the perfect combination, and it sounds incredible. We have Faustian bargains, a donut shop, 2 ladies falling in love. Like, we've got everything in here, and it just sounds like exactly the kind of book that I have been dying to read. I mean, a good sci-fi. We love seeing 2 ladies falling in love. Like, do I need to say any more? I did go more into this in my 5-star predictions also, so you can check that out. But really, this is just going to be one of the first things I pick up because it is so high on my list. I must read it immediately. Taylor's next album was 1989, and the prompt for this is to read a book with a morally gray character. And the book I chose for this is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This is yet another friend recommendation for my 12 Recs challenge. I'm feeling very proud of myself. I've got 3 in 1 TBR. This is from my friend Laura, and I've just heard really, really great things about this online everywhere. It is a kind of thriller following 2 points of view on a college campus. First, we have a professor, and she has been on campus for a while, and she also has a really sick side gig of being a serial killer. She specifically targets men who abuse and assault women on campus, and I think just in their general area. And she's been doing this for a really long time and has been very successful at it. But I think things are starting to catch up to her a little bit. And then we're also following a young woman who is a student on that campus. So I'm not sure how those stories are going to intertwine, but I mean, I'm sure I'm going to find out. It sounds so interesting, definitely giving me a lot of promising young woman. And I don't know, this is definitely different from anything I've read recently, and it's been a while since I've read like a good thriller, so I'm really looking forward to this. It's definitely different from any other thrillers I've read, and so I think this is just going to be a really, really fun time, and I'm excited about it. Next up, we have Reputation, and for this, the prompt is to read a recommendation. And so I'm going to be reading Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Funnily enough, this one is actually not on my 12 Recs list for my challenge, but I already have 3 of those on here, so it's fine. This was recommended to me by my dad. He read this and he knew that I would really love it, so I put it on the list. This is also a 5-star prediction that I had in my last video, so I'm just getting a lot of 5-star predictions on this TBR, and it's wonderful. This is an adult sci-fi novel following a man named Ryland, and he was chosen as part of a crew to do this last-ditch Hail Mary mission to try to save Earth and all of humanity. Problem is, he wakes up on the spaceship, all of the crew besides him is dead, and so now he is alone in space, not sure if he's going to be able to pull his mission off. And that's all I know about this. I read and loved The Martian, so I know I like Andy Weir's writing and sense of humor, so I'm sure I'm going to love that. And I know that there's also a character in this that everybody seems to love, but they never say anything about them because it's supposedly a huge spoiler. And now I'm just intrigued and I want to read it so badly. I think I'm going to love this and I can't wait to read it. So I'm really glad I was able to put it on my TBR. Next up, we have Lover, and the prompt for this is to read a 5-star prediction. And so for this, I'm reading Winter's Orbit by Averina Maxwell. This was also in my 5-star predictions video, of course, and it just sounds like everything I've ever wanted ever. This is another science fiction novel, and it is following the political marriage between two young men after the death of the imperial prince. One is the prince's widower, and the other is the prince's cousin. And so they don't necessarily want to be married to each other. It's a little weird. We've got stuff going on. Like, they don't trust each other very much. But they have to learn to, and to learn to work together, because they need to, A, solve the prince's murder, and also try to prevent intergalactic war and just keep the empire intact. So this has been compared to like Red, White, and Royal Blue in space, which is probably the best thing I've ever heard in my life. It has all the trappings of something I'm going to love, because we have really awesome sci-fi, we have a male-male romance. I'm so excited to read this. I am so excited to read this. It's just going to be wonderful. I can't imagine not loving this. Like, I cannot wait to read this and inevitably give it 5 stars. Next up, we have Folklore, and the prompt is to read a retelling. And so for this, I'm going to be reading Blanca y Roja by A.M. Mclemore. This is another 5-star prediction. I've got 4 on this list, which is amazing. And I'm just really excited to read this because it is another YA magical realism by a favorite author of mine, and I can't wait to read it. This is a retelling of Snow White and Rose Red, and so we are following 2 sisters, Blanca and Roja, and they are part of a family that has been cursed by the swans of the woods. Every generation there are 2 sisters, and one is always cursed to turn into a swan. And so I don't know much more about the actual plot of this, but all I know is it is A.M. Mclemore's signature magical realism, which I adore. We have sister dynamics that are explored in here, and I think just family in general. Based on just a little I've seen on the back cover, we have some ideas of beauty, we have different kinds of love, we have just like everything, we have everything. I just always love how A.M. Mclemore weaves together a lot of different things into their storytelling, and so I cannot wait to finally get around to this. This is actually also one of my top 12 for 2022, so I definitely need to read this, hopefully soon, because it's been on my shelf for far too long, and I just know I'm going to love it. Last but not least, we have Evermore, and the prompt is to read a mystery thriller. So for this, I'm reading The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I read the guest list around when it came out, which was like, was that last year or the year before? I think it was 2021. And I had a good time with it. And so I figured this would be really fun to read. This is also my choice for the Buzzword Reading Challenge for March. The buzzword for March is a location name or word. So in this case, that'll be Paris. Yeah, it just sounds like a lot of fun. So this is following our protagonist. I don't know her name, but she is visiting her brother in Paris. But when she gets there, he is gone without a trace. She can't figure out how to contact him. It's weird. And to top it off, all of his neighbors seem super sketchy. So this is another large cast kind of novel, and it just sounds like there's going to be maybe a whodunit, although I don't know if there's actual murder involved. Regardless, it sounds like a really fun time. Also, I'm excited to listen to the audio of this because I'm pretty sure, like the guest list, this one has a full cast, which is always so much fun to listen to. So I'm pretty excited about this. I'm also going to be buddy reading this with my mom, which is an extra little fun thing. So I can't wait to read this and to get back into mysteries because it's a genre I love, but I don't pick up near enough. All right, so that is it. Those are all the books I'm planning on reading in March for the Tis the Damn Readathon, and I am so excited. As you could see, I have like 4 5-star predictions on this list. I have so many books I've been really looking forward to, so like it's just gonna be the best reading month. I am so excited. I cannot wait for it to be March. So please hop down to the comments, let me know if you're going to be participating in the Tis the Damn Readathon and what you're going to read, or if you've read any of these books, what did you think of them? Do you think I'll like them? Just chat with me down below. While you're down there, you can go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe if you want to see more from me and see what I think of these books. But yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.